हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू वावा एएस। वेलकम टू द डिस्कशन ऑन डेली एमसीक्यू। आज है 2 जुलाई 2021 और अब हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं आज के 5 करंट अफेयर बेस्ड एमसीक्यूज। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। बट फर्स्ट लेट अस डिस्कस द क्वेश्चन दैट वाज आस्क्ड यस्टरडे। सो यस्टरडे आई हैव आस्क्ड 2 क्वेश्चंस। द फर्स्ट वन इज बबल मंडप स्ट्रेट कनेक्ट्स विच 2 seas, and the second one, which article is related to the ordinance which is issued by the President of India. So these are the 2 questions I have asked, and first we will see the article which is related to the ordinance promulgation of the President, and the article is article 123. Article 123, ठीक है? And under this article, or you can say this article empowers the President to promulgate an ordinance, and you have another article called article 213. Under this article, the governor of a state also can promulgate an ordinance. ठीक है? So these are the 2 important articles that we need to remember from the examination point of view. Now coming back to this question, the Babel Mandap Strait connects which 2 seas? This is with regarding to Babel Mandap Strait, and to understand this Babel Mandap Strait, we will see the map. So here you can see this is Babel Mandap Strait. So this Babel Mandap Strait, if you see, it connects the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. ठीक है? So it connects these 2 things. But this Gulf of Aden, if you see, is part of the Arabian Sea. Arabian Sea, right? So the answer will be the Bab el Mandab Strait connects Red Sea and the Arabian Sea. This is the correct answer, and some of you have given the correct answers as well. So yesterday, if you see, it was Shubham Kumar Das, Shubham Basak, Divya Vasisht, and Abhijit. So these are the people who gave the correct answer. ठीक है? Now let's begin the discussion. But before that, a small information, guys. So we are providing the MCQs and their solutions based on the current affairs daily in our Telegram channel. So do join our Telegram channel and make the best use of this initiative. Guys, our aim is simple, to make preparation easy for you. So for this only, we have launched various initiatives, and also we have launched this daily current affairs initiative. So do make the best use of it and do spread the word about WOW-IAS. Now let's begin the first question. Identify from below options the federal features of Indian Union. It is with regard to federal features. First one, supremacy of the constitution. Second one, independent judiciary. Third one, bicameralism. And fourth one, emergency provisions. So here we have to choose the correct answer. So A 1, 2 and 3, B 2, 3, 4, C 1, 2, 4 and D 1 and 4. So we have to choose the correct answer. So if you see supremacy of the constitution, so this basically federal structure means, or you can say the federalism means the power being divided between the center and the state. That is called federalism. Okay, and the second one is the independent judiciary. It is because of this independent judiciary only that we are able to enjoy all our rights, or you can say this independent judiciary enables the states to have their rights, and this independent judiciary will not allow the center to encroach upon the rights of the states. And third one is bicameralism. Bicameralism means having 2 houses, that is having Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha has the representation of the states. Okay, so this is one of the federal feature. So third one is also right. But fourth one, if you see the emergency provisions, the emergency provisions are part of the centralized tendency. Under this emergency provisions, the center will have more powers. So the fourth option will be wrong. That means the fourth statement will be wrong. So 1, 2 and 3 will be correct. So A 1, 2 and 3 is the correct answer. But in case if you have a doubt in the first 3 options, but you know that emergency provision is related to the centralizing tendency, then what you can do is you can just check the options. If you see in B, C and D, option 4 what you have. Okay, it is the common one. And if you know this option 4 is wrong, then you can eliminate all the 3 options directly and just mark option A as right one. Okay, so in this way you can use the elimination technique to answer the correct answer. Now let's move on to the second question. But before that, guys, these are some more information I've given for you. You can just go through it. What are the federal features and what are the unitary features? You can just pause and go through this, and if you have doubt, you can just ask in the comment box. Actually, why this all discussion was in news is the federal features. Recently, the Tamil Nadu government of DMK, it has referred Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government as a union government and not a central government. So that is the reason this debate has erupted. Now the second question. Global Cyber Security Index 2020 has recently released by whom? A. World Economic Forum, B. OECD, C. International Telecommunication Union, and D. UNSC. Global Cyber Security Index. So recently, in the past few years, we have been seeing that UPSC is asking questions from indices. So it is very much important for us to focus on this index. World Economic Forum, OECD and ITU. Generally, if you see, most of the indices will be released by either World Economic Forum, OECD or ITU. That's it. So for this, the Cyber Security Index is released by the International Telecommunication Union. Okay? So this cyber security index, if you see, it ranks country based on the commitment to cyber security. That means how much, or you can say how much effective their cyber security is. Okay, according to that, the countries are being ranked, and this is recently released. So US actually is on the first spot. US is on the first spot, and the second spot is shared by UK, and along with Saudi Arabia, they are the second spot, and Estonia is on third, and India, if you see, it is on 10th spot. India is on 10th spot. Okay. Actually, these rankings are based on 5 pillars, like the legal measures, the technical measures, the capacity building measures, the cooperation and organizational measures. These are the 5 different pillars. And yeah, these are the important information that we need to know from the examination point of view as well. Right, now let's move on to the next question. The third question: consider the following statements with respect to BharatNet project. First one: it is the world's largest rural broadband connectivity program using optical fiber. Second one: the project is being funded by Universal Service Obligation Fund. So we have to choose the correct answer. A 1 only, B 2 only, C both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 nor 2. So here the correct answer is C, both 1 and 2. This BharatNet project is a prestigious project launched by Government of India to give internet to rural parts of the country using optical fiber cable. So okay, and this is the largest rural broadband connectivity program with using optical fiber. It is the world's largest. So the first statement is right, and second statement is also right, because the fund is provided by Universal Service Obligation Fund. Now you might get it out. What is this Universal Service Obligation Fund? This Universal Service Obligation Fund, if you see, this is nothing but you can say SS, or you can say the extra charge which is levied on all the telecom operators. Extra 5% is charged on all the telecom operators, and this 5% is charged on their adjusted gross revenue. That means on the revenue what they are generating at the end of year, on this 5% extra charge is levied, and this money what is collected, it will go into this Universal Service Obligation Fund, and this Universal Service Obligation Fund is part of the Consolidated Fund of India, and how this fund will be used will be determined by the Parliament only, right? So here some more information is given, you can just go through it. Actually, why this was in news recently is that the government is now going to launch, or you can say the government is now going to implement this BharatNet project using PPP mode. Till now it is directly implemented by the government, but now the government is now going to use this PPP mode. That's why this was in news. Okay? Now let's move on to the next question, the fourth question. The Songhua River, which was in news recently, is one of the primary rivers of A. China, B. Cambodia, C. Myanmar, and D. India. Songhua River. So if you look at the name carefully, it will suggest that this name belongs to either China or Myanmar. So the correct answer is A. China. So recently, scientists have announced that a skull which was discovered in 1930s, belongs to a new kind of human species called the Homo longi, also known as dragon man. Okay, because as you know, during the evolutionary phase, humans have evolved into different kinds of species, and after that the final species what we are is the Homo sapiens. So before that, humans have changed. So in that one type of species which is newly which was newly given the name, it was Homo longi. And this was given after the scientists, they have said that the skull which was discovered in 1933 while the construction of bridge going on on this Songhua River, this skull, it has distinctive shape, and also it is a complete skull, and it have different shape, size, and everything what we can find today. So that's why the scientists they have decided that this has to be a separate species and not the part of mankind what we are today, right? Now let's move on to the fifth question. Why are dewdrops not formed on a cloudy night? This is previous year CSE question. This is 2019 question. A. Clouds absorb the radiation released from the Earth's surface. B. Clouds reflect back the Earth radiation. C. The Earth's surface would have low temperature on cloudy night. And D. Clouds deflect the blowing wind to ground level. So we have to choose the correct answer. So if you see, generally one of the main causes of dew is having a having a clear sky. Because if the cloud reflect back the radiation, then the temperature on the earth is going to increase and the dew will not form. So B, clouds reflect back the earth's radiation, is the correct answer, and this is one of the main reason why the dew will not be formed. So here I have given some more information. The favorable weather elements for dew include clear sky, light wind and decent soil moisture. All these three are necessary conditions for the formation of dew. Okay, and also clear sky allow for maximum release of the long wave radiation to the space, because if the long wave radiation is not released to the space, then what will happen? They will reflect back. When they will reflect back, enough cooling will not be maintained on the earth's surface, and then when the enough cooling is not maintained, then the dew will not form. Okay, so this is the information. And now let's see the question of the day. The question of the day is, so this Iron Dome air defense missile system, which was in news recently, belongs to which country? So you have to tell me Iron Dome belongs to which country. Tomorrow I'm going to discuss this question. I'll see who will answer first, right? And guys, some more information about our initiatives. We have launched summaries of Vision PT 365, Vision Prelims Test Series, Vision Monthly Magazine, Vision Mains Test Series. So do check these initiatives in our Telegram channel. As I told already, our aim is simple: to make your preparation easy, to make your preparation more effective. For that, you need to revise multiple times, and for that only we have launched this initiative, so that if you have less material, you will be able to revise that multiple times, right? So do join our Telegram channel, whose details are there in the description, and you can find all the details, right? So that's it guys for the day. I'll see you again tomorrow with 5 more MCQs. Till then, keep studying and stay tuned. Jai Hind.